Hello, girls, guys, or otherwise. This is Rich, and welcome to Table Talk Thursday. We are, as usual, going through our Table Talk cube, singular. If you'd like to get your own, go into the bottom bar, and it will take you to the website. They don't have this particular one, as I've said in the past, but you can get one that's like it. That's the actual website, so you're buying it straight from the manufacturers, the producers of this deck. And I think that's important to note rather than buying it on like Amazon or some other third party website. Of course, you can probably find it on eBay as well, which does support individual sellers and whatnot. Let's take a drink of coffee and we're going to get into this week's question, which is what quality would you like to improve in yourself? So there's the card there. And this is a hard question to really answer, and I'm probably going to wriggle around in this. What quality would I like to improve in myself? Because there is so much. I do have anxiety. I have light depression. I wouldn't say that uh, I don't get into those depressed states that I know some people do. Um, I, but I have been diagnosed on that. I have PTSD from the situation down in Florida and whatnot. So, would I like to get rid of those? A little bit, yes. The anxiety is a constant thing and whatnot. And it's something that I try to manage as best as possible. Um, and I'm probably going to be looking away because this is something that is real cathartic for me. This is the first time, other than originally pulling this, I was actually going to write blogs on this for Christo-Paganism.com and have that as an accompanying article to this video. So I have seen this question before, but I haven't really thought of it until just now. And it's an uncomfortable situation, so I'm going to probably be looking down a lot and trying to think about what I would like to improve in myself. And it's the way it's worded is it's asking for one quality, which I think a lot of what I would change would be little things like less anxiety, more willingness to be, out and open or out in the public and whatnot. I'm very much an introvert type of person because of anxiety and because of because of the PTSD and whatnot. It's not that it's entirely cripples my life. I know some people that they kind of become almost agoraphobic because of that. These types of uh, these types of issues. I don't want to call them disabilities because even though it is classified as a disability and whatnot, it's a whole thing. Um, but I I would like to be able to go out more and be part of a group more. Um, but also, that would drastically change who I am and how I view things. For instance, if I were to be able to go out and and I don't want to say that I'm not able to. I am able to go out in a group of people and whatnot. I usually stay more in the background. That's more of where I'm comfortable. Um, in the background, being kind of quiet and in the back sections of every group. Um, if I were not that way, I don't think that I would see things the same way that I do right now. And and I think that if I were to see things differently. I may not be as honest and upfront and open with you guys as I am. I don't think I would be able to effectively do the work that I do um, with my research, with Christo-Paganism.com, with regards to even my own business. My business of antiques and collectibles is a very solitary type of business. I mean, I go and I do a clean out, or I go to an auction by myself. I'm there, I haven't been to an auction in a while, but let's say I go to an auction. Um, yes, there's other people there. It's not really a social club. It's not a hangout. Um, I'm not really. You want to come over with Daddy? Come on over, Jelly. But I'm not really. Um, as she bumps the mic, I do apologize for that. And not cutting it out. Hmm, maybe I will. I don't know. Anyway, I go to auctions and whatnot, and I may talk to one or two people there. And it's not a common thing to sit there and talk the entire time unless there's one or two friends that I have there. In those situations, I will talk to people. Um, but for the most part, it's a very solitary thing. I get the items that I want to buy, and I take them home. I clean them up. I put them online, or I take pictures, put them online. All of this is done by myself. Um, I don't have anybody that works for me. I don't have a big production line going of, you take pictures, you list, and, you ship and this and that. No, it's basically just me. And, every once in a while, my partner helps me out, but that's not his calling either. So, or it's not his calling to do any of that. Saying either as if it's not my calling, but anyway, it is. I do enjoy the work that I do there, but again, it's a very solitary job. It's a very solitary type of um, production of a business. And would I change any of that? No, because my business runs as much as I put into it. Um, so changing a little bit about myself, such as less anxiety, willing to be out there, uh, being more forceful out there in public, or being more popular in public, or anything like that, would really kind of hinder the ability for me to do the work that I do, here in my home and whatnot, and even here online. Um, I wouldn't be able to devote as much time to doing stuff online, um, which I'm trying to get more into, doing more and more things online, such as social stuff and whatnot, and doing the website and getting that back up and running and whatnot. I'm trying to get more into doing that stuff a little bit more, being a little bit more engaged. But I wouldn't be able to do it if I changed these certain qualities about myself, that would put me more in the physical realm of being with people. I'll tell you this: quarantine has been a blessing, especially whenever it first started out. Quarantine was a blessing. I was running myself ragged because I was devoted to doing this, that, and the other thing. I had a brick and mortar store that had to close because of COVID-19. There's still stuff that I can't talk about with that I will probably address once all that is settled and whatnot. Um, but whenever quarantine first happened, I no longer had the store that I could go to. Um, I no longer, and I was in a very fortunate position of being in a job as a storage unit facility manager, where I could be at home and I was still getting paid. So I was in a very fortunate position for that. So I didn't have the store that I could go to. I didn't have work that I was allowed to go to, but they were still paying me, so I was very fortunate for that. And I count that as a huge blessing because that got us through the last year, or the first couple months of the quarantine until they opened up or lifted the restrictions, and I was able to go back to work, still socially distancing and doing everything safely, of course. But I I was able to take that time during quarantine as a blessing to decompress and, really find where I needed to be once again, and to organize the things for my personal business and whatnot of buying and selling antiques and collectibles on eBay, and being able to readjust and reevaluate how everything is going with that. So that was a huge blessing, being told that I must stay home, even though it was a horrible situation. That the situation of being told I must stay home was a blessing, and I received blessings of being able to have money coming in still, um, you know, even though I was having to stay home and not being able to go to work. So I did have blessings that came out of this horrible situation of a pandemic, and I don't want to make light of that or make it seem like I'm talking light of uh, of the overarching pandemic that is so horrible and has taken so many lives. So I don't want to draw attention away from that. That it is a very serious situation as to why we had to quarantine, but looking at it from a different angle was also a blessing, that it forced me to reevaluate things about myself and about the way that I conduct business and the way that I interact with people online and whatnot. And that being a more a more, oh, how do I want to say this? It became more prevalent to interact with people through an online source, either through Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, whatever. So it became a more forceful way of me having to um, go and do that rather than meet up with somebody face to face or whatnot, because it is safer to do it socially distance online and whatnot, obviously. But it made me reevaluate how I do things and why I do things the way I do, and what qualities I have also are strengths that go into the work that I do. The anxiety and the depression doesn't really help, but I don't really get the depression aspect as much as some people. It comes around and rears its ugly head from time to time, and the anxiety thing is something that's constant. The PTSD, usually with loud noises and stuff like that, or depending on who I'm around and whatnot, I get little parts of that. But those qualities also make me see the blessing of staying, here, talking to you guys online, being safe and socially distanced, being in more control of how I conduct things or what I allow in my sphere of influence, such as, I've said it on this channel before. If somebody comes at me and starts being rude to the individuals on this channel that comment on this channel and whatnot, I have the power and I have the ability to block these people or tell them that no, this will not stand. You are now banned from commenting on these videos. Something like that. Um, the anxiety and the reason that I stay in a lot more, besides just generally being an introvert, or that being a reason why I'm an introvert, lends itself to the blessing of I am able to take control of certain aspects of business, certain aspects of my YouTube channel, certain aspects of my Facebook feed, and my Twitter, followers and whatnot, and who I allowed myself to interact with. Having these qualities also gives me uh, the chance of looking at things a different way and finding those blessings in a different area. So would I um, would I change them? No. Would I like what quality would I like to improve? Um, you know, those were the first things that came to mind. But now something else is coming to mind, and being that this is going up pretty much unedited, I'm just gonna like keep on going. Um, what quality would I improve is being able to read faster. I love to read, and I have said this on multiple videos. I am a slow reader. I love Audible because I am being read to. If I listen to something, I can process it a lot faster. Um, and a lot of times on YouTube videos or on Audible books or audiobooks through Audible, which I do have a link down below. I think it still works that, we get a little money from it for the channel and whatnot. Haven't looked into that in a while, probably should, but I usually listen to videos and audiobooks on like double speed because I can speed read through those books, but I can't do that in real life. And I would love to read certain things like the Nag Hammadi text or the Bible or the Intertemple Witchcraft, which we're going through on Saturdays. I would love to be able to read through these texts at an accelerated rate and be able to retain what I read a lot easier and a lot faster because I have suffered for so many years being a slow reader. I mean, if you look around, and you guys can't see it in the pictures in the frame here, but I've shown it before, the amount of books and that I have in here that need to be read, that I want to read. That would be a quality, if I had to name one, that I would actually improve on myself. And I would like to have the ability to speed read and improve my reading speed in general. Would be a quality that, if I had to answer this in and of itself, would be a quality that I would improve on. So anyway, that was a long video on that one. Again, probably not going to edit this that much, but I am going through and doing a few Thursdays, as this is a Sunday, Sunday the 7th of February. I'm going to just sit back, relax, do a whole batch of videos, try to edit them and upload them, minimal editing, and upload them as scheduled posts. So it gives me that little buffer in case anything comes up where I have to address something and not able to make the video that day. So I did have somebody leave a comment on one of my videos, and it was something to the matter of, this is going to be a big year for you and this and that. I think it was on the year of content intro that I did. Excuse me for a second. I think it was that video. But I commented, I said 5 videos a week is going to, it is going to turn into a long year. And they said, we would understand if you missed one. I said, I can't allow myself to miss a video, because knowing myself, if I say, oh, I can't do a video that day, I'll do it some other time, or, I can skip a day. Excuse me. Somebody's, playing with the chair, and this being a newer chair, I don't want it to get clawed up or anything. I don't want to encourage that behavior. Anyway, I don't even know where I was, but I'm gonna just go on. where I think I was. They said, you can miss a day. And I said, no, I can't allow myself to do that. Because what happens is I say, oh, I missed a day here. It's okay. Nobody will care. And then I do it again, and I do it again, and I do it again. And this is a running theme with me, that if I slough off one, then I allow myself and I open the door for myself to slough off another and another after that, and so on and so forth. So I told them, I said, I cannot allow myself to do that. So, in order to give myself a little buffer in case there is a day whenever I have to take off because either I'm sick, or uh, I had a long day at work, or I have to draw my attention to something else, I have that little bit of a buffer that I don't have to worry about things not getting uploaded. And I give myself a little bit more time at night to be able to do things with my boyfriend and whatnot. So, anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get off of here, and I'm going to make another video for Table Talk Thursday. And until then, make sure that you join us on Saturdays. That's the next day, because Fridays we're off. Saturdays, we come back with another chapter in the Witchy Book Club series. So join me for that. And until then, may you have love, hugs, and ladybugs. Bye-bye.